What's
I
going
am a
on, you?
hip hop expert. His music have never been played outside of New York. We don't know who Max B is. Don't know who he is, what he home for. Don't know what he was in prison for. We from the South. And in the South, we've never connected to anything outside of Jay-Z, Nas, Jada Kiss, Biggie, LL Cool J, them Max B's and Jim Jones. I with Jim Jones by way of Dipset now, but it was more Joel Santana was the Jim and the rest of them was background singers. You know, Joel was the
Charleston White, boy,
That,
that boy don't never miss, man.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold up. Hold up. I was all over that damn Dipset
Cameron,
movement. I was all over that, and I don't think
Fabulous.
them other
Yeah.
guys was no backup dancers.
I
I mean,
get what
That's
he's
crazy.
saying, though.
but you gotta get what he's saying.
I get what he's saying. I get it, but come on, man. That was a whole movement. Them boys had a
Yeah.
whole movement, man.
And they did. Not gonna lie, they had the shit. Nigga was happy to wear pink. Shit. So yeah, they had a lot of influence in
With the alligator on it.
and shit.
And we from the South, so they did definitely had a lot of influence. Had niggas. Joel definitely had niggas wearing they bandanas over the damn hats.
Yeah.
You know, the damn bandanas and the shoe laces, and this and that. All the little swag that they brought to the table. Dipset was really a big influence on a lot going on when we was in like high school.
Yeah, they definitely did. I mean, but I get what he was saying, and I mean from me, I wasn't big on New York rap. Not even Jay-Z. So I couldn't nothing that anybody from New York was rapping sounded good to me for some reason. I don't know. I mean, DMX and Jadakiss. Those were the only two New York rappers that I really listened to. I didn't consider
DMX
Tupac.
went big.
He was more West
Ja,
Coast.
but Ja Rule went big during our time. Like you said, DMX, Ja Rule, Jay-Z. But this underground little movement that the Dipset people had, bruh, this was a time in history. I was really digging Dipset back in the day, and I'm a Jay-Z guy, but I wouldn't say that they were background dancers, is what Charleston White said. But we can finish that video. Let's see what else he's talking about.
Yeah, he got some shit to say.
Cameron came because Cameron had the niche with the pink fly. The rest of them were just props. Yeah, they were fly in Harlem, but to the rest of the world, them was props, homie. That's why we looking at like Big Dog Jim. You was a prop. We ain't now a song we can sing other than ball and we don't know none of this song. We ain't never heard bumping them out in the trap other than Dipset. And Jewels was the. So I don't know what these.
And he kind of said Jim Jones was a flop. So hey.
I mean, Jim Jones wasn't the best rapper back in those times, but Jim Jones has since become a respectable artist. Jim Jones been a certified hustler, and he been in the algorithm for 20 years now. And you could say that he been having more motion than a Jewel's been having here lately for the last 10 years. So
shit, I think the last thing we knew Jewel for not having no goddamn teeth in his mouth. So yeah, he definitely like been way more popular. But just like Pac-Man say, man, Charleston White gonna speak some facts, and it's gonna be a lot of bullshit tied into it.
Charleston he kills me.
I like him, man.
Cause it ain't never just I ain't gonna say I like him, I ain't gonna say I dislike him, but he definitely make you think. But sometimes you gotta take his shit with a grain of salt. because he be
Yeah.
talking some bullshit.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
will say
But
like
yeah,
on this topic, he's pretty much on point for pretty much for what he said. I mean, you obviously, you know what I'm saying, y'all on the panel, y'all from the South, so y'all understand in a context of what he's saying. Not everybody down there listen to East Coast music, but some people do. Some people do have an array of East Coast music that they do listen to. But what I will say is, I think that uh, it's easy for you to kind of like say that certain people don't know about an artist because, like, he tried to say nobody know about Max B. I don't really necessarily agree with that because Max B was out during the mixtape era, like from '05 to '09 before he got locked up. He has a pretty decent catalog of music. So there are people that
definitely.
around the world that are gonna know your music. It's not like in '05 to '09, we didn't have people downloading mixtapes off of internet sites. You know,
Yeah, but
Hmm.
we already know how popular Dat Piff was. Dat Piff was a spot. Dat Piff, everybody went to Dat Piff and downloaded
Hmm.
tapes, all different types of sites that you could
Or
download.
LimeWire.
Yeah,
Hot
LimeWire,
new
all these
mixtapes.
live new mixtapes. So you mean to tell me that even 15 years ago, 20 years ago, you mean to tell me that people weren't downloading whoever music from wherever in
right.
Europe, all around the world, internationally, people were downloading music from all regions from artists
Yeah.
that they like.
For real. Yep. All type of music. You
You
right.
know what I'm saying? So you can't sit here and be like and try to pigeonhole people into regions, into all of this and that, when we already know even 20 years ago, people were having music from people all over. So in today's world, we got the streaming platforms, we got all this, we got all that, you got everybody uploading on every social media platform. You don't know where they at. All kinds of people are listening to artists in different areas. But what I will say is that the South has dominated hip hop for over the last 25 years. Definitely from the early 2000s until now, the South as a whole, when it comes to hip hop, has dominated the sound of hip hop because it became a time where New York started to copy the energy of the South.
That's that.
For
Yeah.
instance, with this album that you have shown right here, Diplomatic Immunity, one of the greatest albums in and to me, was one of the albums growing up when I was in high school. What was one of the bigger songs on this album? It was the I'm Bout It remix flip with Master P. Why was that? Because the influence of the South was starting to become undeniable. But Dipset was one of the early New York groups that embraced the South and always embraced the South. Why? Because Cam went to school in Texas. He left New York.
Hmm.
He left New York real early to play basketball. So he didn't just have that New York mentality of we better than everybody. You know, New Yorkers, we better than everybody. Don't nobody know nothing like us. He left and understood it was bigger than New York, and he got down with being in
Hmm.
different places. He lived in Ohio. Dipset is a great example of New Yorkers that knew how to play the ear of different places. You know what I'm saying? But so I want to just say that
Facts.
nobody
Yeah.
just you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's where a lot of his music and he lived in Ohio for a little bit. He lived in the Midwest, so he don't have this ignorant type of way of thinking of kind of like Charleston White trying to make it seem like I get what he's saying, but if you in tune with music, like
Yeah, you in
it
tune with
depends
music. Me,
on
I'm from
it.
Mississippi, and I was on Nas, nigga. So
Right. You know what I'm saying? What she said, like if you ain't Nas, if you ain't Biggie, you ain't LL. Clearly there's New York rappers that everybody love and everything. But when you talk to certain people, they try to like make it to where only these people listen to these people. Because I saw Nav Green. I don't know if y'all know who Nav Green is, but he's a part
yeah,
of
we
the
know now.
85 South. Yeah, he's a part of
Mm-hmm.
the 85 South clip. And he had a viral clip that went viral not too long ago saying, down here in the South, Oh, we weren't listening to none of that New York shit. We ain't trying to hear all them damn big ass words and all this little da 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 da. But then when you looked at, when you looked into the comments, there were other people who disagreed with them that were from the South that said, no, we
Mm,
listen to this, we listen to that. And then again, I mean, if you use common sense, who came up out of, because mostly I don't know if he's from Atlanta, but I think he's based his podcast and 85 South and all this stuff is mostly based out of Atlanta. I would say most of their stuff they
mm,
do is out of Atlanta. We know who comes up out of Atlanta with the some of the very first conscious people, if not the first conscious people up out of the South with conscious music and music with something to say, with Outkast and Goody Mob. So you just ain't gonna sit here
mm.
and tell me that nobody from the South don't listen when we literally have some of the people dropping the game about a lot of this conspiracy stuff and all the stuff that we hear today from the South.
Using big words.
Using big words, you had to be on game, you had to read the books and be all into the conspiracy, back then before the internet was popping. They was talking about this stuff,
Before the internet.
you know what I mean? Cell therapy. That whole song right there
You ain't lying.
is just straight, game right there. You got to be up on some shit to be talking about that in 1994, 1995. You know what I'm saying?
For real, them boys was super political.
You know what I'm saying? So you ain't gonna sit here and tell me that, oh, the South don't like lyric. The South don't. No, nigga, you don't like lyric. You know what I'm saying? Because the nigga down the street right there, that nigga on some shit. He know about some shit right now. You know what I'm saying?
Fabulous, yeah.
Shots
You know what I'm
fired, Charleston White. You lied.
You know, so we can't pigeonhole people from their region or what demographic. We have to look at things as individuals sometimes, and that's
And
how.
that's all that were too. That's the opinion. Like everybody got to have. That's his opinion.
Real shit. Yeah, you right, fact man, for sure.
We can leave it
I
there.
want to see. I want to see what Jim Jones gonna respond to with this though, because Charleston White called y'all niggas some background dancers, and he said Jim Jones was a flop. The only song you had worth listening to was "Ballin'." We fly
Play
high.
it one more time. Play it one more time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have never been played outside of New York. We don't know who Max B is. Don't know who he is, what he home for. Don't know what he was in prison for. We from
He
the
ain't lying.
South.
I don't know what he
And in the
was
South, we've never connected to anything
You know,
outside of Jay-Z,
We know about the waves.
Nas, Jada Kiss, Biggie, LL Cool J, them Max B's and Jim Jones. I with Jim Jones by way of Dipset now, but it was more Joel Santana was the Jim, and the rest of them was background singers. Joel was the Cameron came to Cameron had the niche with the pink fly. The rest of them was just props. Yeah, they were fly in Harlem, but to the rest of the world, it was props, homie. That's why we looking at it like, dog, Jim, you was a prop. We ain't now a song we can sing other than Ballin'. We don't know none of them songs. We ain't never heard bumping them out in the trap other than Dipset. And Joel was the... So I don't know what these...
You heard it from the man, the internet king, the algorithm king, Charleston White. Y'all nigga was props and background singers. Ain't nobody playing that shit. Yeah. Hey. Did he lie? I mean, so what did Max B go to jail for?
I think it was
Robbery.
it was jail for a robbery. It was like a robbery, armed robbery gone bad or something like that. I forget all the details, but
His
it was a
stripper
robbery.
girlfriend had found a lick, and she called Max, and he called his nephew or something. His nephew ended up killing the dude. Max wasn't even there in the room, but the girl ended up
But he
telling
was the
everything.
ringleader.
Yeah,
Mastermind.
she got off light and snitched on him. He got 75 years. The other boy got life. So
Dang.
He ended up doing 18 years on a 75-year bid. We don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, so why you out? Why you out in 18 years when you were sentenced to 75, and then you out here celebrating being out, but you got your nephew life. He would have never been in that shit if you hadn't called him.
Yeah.
Yep.
But this is the type of shit that we want to celebrate. Him coming home for doing some stupid shit.
Yeah, what they celebrating. I really didn't know nothing about them like y'all, until I did a little research. Right, I still is.
So yeah, so they celebrate him coming home, throwing them party, giving him money. But y'all not thinking about that kid who life he took away. Y'all not thinking about that man who life that kid took away.
Nephew, yeah.
Like, look at y'all. That's
Showed
just
them
a
wrong.
gap to that man's family face, bro. Because none of this shit would have never happened if you hadn't picked that phone up and called him. And then y'all let a woman get y'all into this shit. You was a rapper. You supposed to be making money. What the fuck you robbing somebody for?
Yeah, that's a good point right there, because Jim Jones, which he admits to, he put him in basically a slave deal. Max basically figured out what deal he was in, because, well, the funny part about the shit is Max B was in jail and Jim Jones got him out and signed him to that deal. So he was already in a jail situation before he went back to jail for what he currently just got out for. But when he signed that deal, it was essentially a slave deal. So he fell out with Jim once he figured out he wasn't going to be recouping no money or getting nothing. Started going at him on DVDs, and because at the time, like,
so go rob him.
Yeah,
That's the motherfucker that fucked you.
Yeah, essentially.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. Yeah.
Oh no, he admitted. It ain't alleged because he admitted to it. He admitted to
it. It ain't allegedly.
Yeah, he admitted to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get it.
So why you ain't rob him? Why you going out to somebody that this female put you on? Y'all, and then that could have been a setup. She probably was hoping that it went another way. Just so happened that you called your nephew because you didn't want to go by yourself.
Didn't go at all.
So then supposed to be you.
Yeah. So he does these 17 years after that, and French Montana, who he came up with during that DVD run after he stopped messing with Jim Jones and Bird Gang and Dipset or whatever, he started rocking with French, because French had the Coke Wave DVDs. Yeah. So those DVDs were like, when Smack was going on and Come Up, and a lot of the New York DVDs at that time were real big. Yeah, so French blew up with these DVDs, and Max fell out with Jim, so he started rocking with French, and they had a Coke Wave mixtapes and all this, and or matter of fact, the name of the DVDs for French was Cocaine City. That was the name of his DVDs, and then they had when him and Max got together, they had the Coke Wave mixtapes. So they were talking slick about Dipset, just doing a whole bunch of stuff, going, back then they would have went viral, you know what I mean, for when they were beefing, because on the DVDs, everybody was rocking when him and French was making those songs and talking slick about Dipset. So when when Max got sentenced, they stayed close. And then we all know with French Montana, he's had hits, he hasn't necessarily had no big albums or nothing, but he done had these hits over the last, 15 years, and he's been in the game, made all that money with Puff, and then he married his princess. He done made some money. He done made some money.
He had to work again.
Yeah, he ran it up. Like, he's been probably one of the smarter rappers with his bread, and he moves around, he moves and shakes, he gets in the right rooms, and he's up. So he definitely had a reason why Max had that sentence.
Yeah, he got the best deal Bad Boy ever signed.
Yeah, he probably do. I ain't even gonna lie, he probably do. Yeah, he definitely one of them. That's for sure. Because you don't never hear him say nothing bad about Puff. Well, everybody else does, but French literally probably made out with a lot of bread messing with Puff. But So he ended up, I think, having a hand in getting Max out. And when Max got out, he got him out. He basically the one who got him on this run, in my opinion. This whole thing they've been talking about in the last few weeks is basically because of French Montana. He set them all up to go on this
Because
run.
French married into royalty over there and pulled
Yep.
some string with the Illuminati. Yeah, he
Yep.
did.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure he did. He's tied in. Let's just say that. French is definitely tied in. And he's tied in more than a lot of people because, he married to a real princess in the over there in the Middle East. So,
Man, that's crazy. That boy went out there and shit got him a princess.
Yeah. So, this is where Max gets all this pub right now. He came all these chains. He's opening up for coming in doing songs with Monica. Like, what the fuck? All kind of shit. Like, he got all this type of shit going on. So yeah. I guess we'll see where it goes, man. But yeah, that's the whole thing with the Jim Jones and Max B shit, and Charleston White saying nobody knew him. I don't know. Like, you're right. Probably a good portion of people down there didn't know who he was, but I ain't gonna disagree with that. But
man, when nobody riding around talking some bump that Max B.
Nah.
Not no big scale. Not no big
And he
scale.
been on platform, but hey, I don't know until tune in to next time. I think he on what you call who that Cameron and May.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he already been on there. He been on there.
He been on there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still pissed off that we celebrating some shit like that.
They celebrating, man.
Yeah.
I'm saying, I'm speaking like Americans in general.
Mhm.
Hip hop
And
is
that's where-
celebrating.
Hip-hop is celebrating
Right.
that bullshit.
And,
But
and,
this
and
man
just-
threw away two lives.
Mhm.
Then right, family, right, anybody, right? You leading the wrong way, OG.
Mm.
And I don't blame him because he can't celebrate himself. He ain't the one that's giving them this money and throwing these parties and giving them all access to everything that he ever wanted or would have had he not gotten locked up. Like, don't celebrate bullshit. Just like Nom said the other day, man. What about the kid that went and got his master's?
And see, that's what I'm saying. Even on platform he been on, he ain't never say, hey, youngster, my whatever the dude name, my nephew, I apologize, I'm sorry. He ain't even, doing none of that either though.
Mhm.
He should recognize, know that, put them in it, cause you can't undo your wrong.
Mhm.
I just
But
hope
you
he do
still
the
can
right
give him a
thing.
shout out.
Do the right thing with that money, man. Make sure your nephew come
Yeah, I think he doing that though.
he's good. Take care of his mama now if they still alive.
And they don't know about all
You
that.
wouldn't be in jail if it wasn't for your uncle. But you gotta
Ain't
take
nobody
some
tell
responsibility
him to
because ain't
go.
nobody tell your dumb ass to go out there and do it.
Right, cause he still had choices. Right, he was grown.
Cause he wasn't even there. You shot the man. That wasn't the plan. I'm sure that wasn't the plan.
Right.
But he did.
Anything happen up there in a robbery, Hey.
Yeah. That's true. But we'll be looking out for some new music from Max B. So we'll be hearing him on the radio soon.
Tap in.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do a review.
Listen to that shit.
TGC review.
You never know. Yeah, I see what he's talking about.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. But y'all make sure y'all hit that Cash App. Y'all hit that Cash App, that TGC pod. Hit that Cash App, man. And we gonna keep bringing y'all this great content, man. Night after night, man.
Cause you ain't getting this
Sure.
rawness on no other podcast.
At all.
We the best.
Like and share
TGC.
Peace.
all the time.